this one? How did it come about? Could it come about apne aap? By itself did it come? It looks like most of the things that we know today does not fit into the picture, traditional picture that we have of evolution theories. Because evolution insists that from an abionic, essentially a biological origin, carbon compounds were formed in the form of amines in a primordial soup which formed somewhere on the seashore by virtue of lightning and providing the energy that is needed. It doesn't seem to have happened that way because you can see that all the amino acids are never produced. If they were to have been, and if there were oxygen, they would decompose. There is so much tar that amino acids are unstable. It produces amino acids which are racemic mixtures, while human beings have only levo-rotatory ones. And therefore, there are many, many inconsistencies in that theory. And if somebody were to, of course, people can easily get into controversy on those things because some minister stated something like that and he was immediately questioned, hauled on hot coal as if, he has done some crime. It's not a crime. What he had stated is probably he has also studied somewhere as to what is happening in the present day circumstances. I don't mean that we don't have, science is incapable of addressing that one. Probably science which is studying today a phenomenon known as near-death experience and out-of-body experiences, to which really we should salute all the doctors who have done very careful studies, published in standard journals, come to the conclusion that a person whose life has been revived, who was brought in a state of coma and revived, he says what he saw as if he was flying above. What is that flying above and he's seeing? Reporting everything. One of the persons, a reasonably elderly person, says that I was trying to talk to you and you won't listen. Because he was saying it looks like the other people won't listen, who were unable to hear him. Later when he came to life, he said that, look, please get my glasses back because I cannot see. She said, everybody was treating a coma patient, but at that time he said, look, this nurse took my specs and kept it there. And that lady goes there and picks it up. And it was amazing. Several such things have happened. One of the famous cases, in the next one please, if there is, I'm pretty excited about them. This is only to tell you several scientists, like for example, Lord Kelvin felt that way. And here is another Nobel laureate, Lewis, who felt very similarly. An absolute skeptic of this one, namely a chemist, who came to the conclusion, how can a universe of mindless matter produce beings with intrinsic ends and self-propagating capabilities? These are all things which have been stated by them in honesty. The first one to really give that one was Louis Pasteur, whom the whole mankind owes something as a great, debt of gratitude. What did he say? Without a previous existing life, you don't have a life coming out of that one. It needs a cell to replicate itself and bring life. Therefore, these are evidences which go against any such simple theory and drives to make one point very clear. One of the ingredients of philosophy, at least 3 ingredients that as I see in most of the religious philosophies, is they accept the existence of God. The second one is the existence of a soul. The third one is the transmigration of soul and karma theory, if you wanted to add to that one. Other than this one, there are no major obstacles. If I can say, first of all, that there is something outside of my body which science seems to be now coping up, it says, it puts a tick mark against the existence of a soul. Then comes the question of how many souls? Is my soul the same as another one? Are they the same? In some way, are they manifesting the same way? You don't know at the present, science has not answered that question. You don't even know whether it will be capable of answering. But one thing is certain, the so-called consciousness research people do speak about a super consciousness, which is really several of these consciousness coming together in order to be able to sort of merge into one super conscious something. If that were to be the Bhagavan or the great Almighty that we are talking about, then that somewhere sort of half tick mark against that one. Third one, transmigration of soul, probably unless we do some more critical experiments, it will not be. But science has not abandoned that one. Science's business is only to carry out experiments. Design good, clever experiments to see whether we can prove that one. It doesn't mean that you abandon the other one altogether till science has come to certify that one. Science is not a certifying agency. It can only say, I can go so far and do nothing more. It can always admit that one. Therefore, there is no question there is no question that religious philosophies have come to question science which has its own limited ends. Similarly is the entire thing, say for example, we talk about Big Bang and later on. Many questions, many question marks even in science to be able to understand. That brilliant talk which was given by Professor Saxena just now, I heard about, he mentioned about something which is several of the things that are related to, for example, even in creation. Have I heard it correctly? Even India, this is not a country which has been made out of our seniors, our elders. These 10,000 years were not idiots. Let us put that one properly. And they had done a lot of science. It is not as if they didn't know science. We are talking about entanglement and going anywhere, which also even sort of puts a question mark against philosophy. I have to leave with this one. In fact, it is good, even otherwise I would have insisted, because having been so long a professor, I have forgotten that there is what is known as a time. Therefore, I agree with that one. Let me go to that last slide, if you can. You go to the last one. This one. Stop there, the previous one. Our people were not idiots. Do you see this one? There is a dark dot, a big dot at the center. It is in the constellation known as Vrishchika Rashi. In the Vrishchika Rashi, there is a star known as Jyeshtha. Why did these people really name that one as Jyeshtha? Whose meaning is abundantly clear in Sanskrit. It represents something big, which is, number one kind of a thing. Why did they name that one? It is now that we know what that star is. That star in that constellation happens to be something which is 10,000 times. Its luminosity is 10,000 times that of our sun. It is 883 times that of the sun in terms of bigness. Top of that one, it is 550 light years away. How did they go there? They didn't have any rockets or any such thing. Therefore, there must be yet another vehicle that is possible for human beings with their extraordinary capabilities to be able to do this one. It is that which have somewhere, we have not lost, we have not been able to awaken. Probably if we do that, we must be able to do. There are many, many instances where these people have done. This is to show that our people have been in some way scientists in their own claims. That cannot be simply ignored. Taking that into consideration, the rather, rather disjointed way that I have tried to put together something for you, I would only say that science is not in conflict. I don't think it is in conflict with religion. What is needed is a proper approach both to science and to religion. Not to be saying, science is all, this one, that one. No, that's not correct. Nor it is it to say that, these scientists don't understand anything about philosophy and they are a worthless set of people. Our elders would rather say that one sometimes. They are very, very, very wary of even talking to a scientist about science. That should not happen. But we have been using science. You cannot stay without science. All the problems that mankind has been addressed by scientists. Technology is something that we enjoy every morning to evening. Therefore, with these few words, I wish that, a great success for this conference which is coming to a close now, and for the opportunity that has been given to me. Thank you very much.